Yang Nityam Anandam Anantamekam Shiveti Namna Sutayo Grinanti Tasyavataro Nararupadhari Kripa Siddhabdir Bhuvi Ramakrishna Vijnana Pijusha Nimagna Murti Pasparsayanyan Dayaya Karena Te Kamini Kanchana Rikta Chitta Saddo Babhuvur Bhuvi Ramakrishna. That reality which the Shrutis, Upanishads praise under the name of Lord Shiva, who is eternal, infinite, the one without a second, and bliss absolute. An incarnation of that on the earth in human form is Sri Ramakrishna, the ocean of mercy. Whoever in this world were blessed with a gracious touch of the hand of Sri Ramakrishna, who had drunk deep on the nectar of realization, at once had their minds freed from the attachment to lust and gold. Our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna. Today, our topic is Ramakrishna Shiva, or Shiva Ramakrishna. It's a very great effort to link these two wonderful ideas of Shiva ideal and Ramakrishna ideal. It is, first of all, we have to understand who is Shiva, who is Rama, or who is Ramakrishna here. First of all, we need to know that in Sri Ramakrishna, how the infinite mood and the highest expression of ecstasy and samadhi manifested in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. And nay, it may be said that Ramakrishna, Shiva manifested in Ramakrishna, or Shiva is Ramakrishna. God descends, as you always know, in the human form and brings the message which will solve the problems of that age. Sometimes to preach devotion, otherwise, other times knowledge, or in other moods. That is, sometimes God incarnates in the Shiva nature, and sometimes it is also is called this Vishnu nature. Even in ordinary human being, it is in India that is a common idea that someone is born of a Shiva nature, someone is born of a Vishnu nature. Who is little bit of analytical minded, they are called rational minded in the spiritual journey. Path of Jnana Yogi, they are mostly influenced by the Shiva nature. And it is called Vishnu nature, who are little bit devotional, more devotional, because Vishnu is love, Vishnu is devotion more manifested, so that's why it is called Vishnu nature. Seeing their lifestyle and mood they carry mainly. But in the readers of Ramakrishna's biography, we know that Sri Ramakrishna was, you can say he was the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, or you can say yes, he is an incarnation of Lord Shiva. So in him, that's why in this incarnation of Ramakrishna, he is the embodiment of all spiritual moods, all spiritual tendencies, all great ideal of spiritual life, which has been traded by humanity from time immemorial till today. That's why he's the establisher of all religion, and he's called He is the embodiment of all religion. Here we find that let us remember the story that Sri Ramakrishna's father went on to Gayadham, the holy place of pilgrimage, to offer their oblation for the forefathers, and that celebration was done wonderfully. And at the night time his father was sleeping or resting in the temple camp compound, and in the dream, or you can say vision, he saw that the Lord of the universe, who is called Lord Vishnu, the Vishnu is, you have seen the form of Vishnu with 4 arms, with mace in one hand, shankha, the conch shell, chakra, discus, gada, mace, and padma, lotus. That God appeared, the whole place became effulgent. And the Lord Vishnu appeared and said, "Oh Gadadhar, what is his father's name? Khudiram, I am very pleased with your worship. I am very happy with your worship, so I want to be born in your home." And in the dream itself, or whatever, he said, No, Lord, don't do that. I am a very poor person. You are the Lord of the universe. How can I manage your needs when you are born? I will not be able to do that. Then Narayana said, "Don't worry, I will take care of myself." And there he woke up. And then we see that phenomenal story, that here, this is as if father is getting the dream that Lord is coming in his family to be his own son. And here we find another phenomenal incident, that Mother Chandra Devi, Sri Ramakrishna's mother, so she was then standing at the same time when it is happening in Gayadham, about far away, 300, how many miles? More than 300, 400 miles. And those days there is not much communication system. You have to walk. It takes a month to reach to that destination. And when holy divine Chandra Devi, the mother of Ramakrishna, would be mother of Ramakrishna then, saw was talking with a village lady and standing in front of a Shiva temple. And there he found that suddenly she was talking and she found that a Shiva linga become effulgent and the inner sanctum became full of light. And he felt that a stream of light came and as if entered into her, in her body. And she was so overwhelmed, she fell down unconscious. So local village people thought that it is some ghost has taken possession. In the early days that was our more concept. Anyone does like that, surely some ghost has taken possession of her. So naturally, but she felt that somebody has entered into her womb. Now, this is the story here, mother. That is the story there with the father. And mother conceived that time, she felt that somebody has entered into her womb. And then when after long time Khudiram came back and the wife told, you are not here, but this thing has happened. And because of his pious nature, Khudiram didn't doubt, hey, what is this? But because he has his own experience and he is a great spiritual person, then he said, okay, don't talk to other people. God has come, is coming to take shelter in our home. And really, if you read the biography, you will find the financial condition of Khudiram. He was a poor Brahmin, honest, very sincere, truthful and everything. But he was very poor financially. But everything, prosperity started growing. How? God knows. And their living became a little solvent living and other. So here is that is the appearance of Sri Ramakrishna. So is this Sri Ramakrishna is born of Vishnu nature or Shiva nature? Yes, you can say both, because in this role he has to act in all the different modes. That's why we find that this combination. But today is our subject, Ramakrishna Shiva, so we should more focus on Shiva. So Shiva, what is his own nature, Shiva? As you have said, just this verse talks about Shiva. Shiva is, in the hymns of Vishwanath, Shiva, the of Benares, there is a beautiful verse. This is composed by no ordinary person, but it is by Shankaracharya. It was composed by Vyasdev, the man of wisdom and total Advaitic person. He praised Shiva. He says, Tejomayam Shagunanirgunam Aditiyam Anandakannam Aparajitam Aprameyam Nagatmakam Sakalanishkalam Atmarupam Varanasi Purapati Bhaja Vishwanatham. He praised Vyasdev, praised Lord Shiva in this way, said that I worship Vishwanath, the Lord Shiva, the Lord of Benares. What is he? He is Tejomayam. He is of nature of effulgent light. Tejas, Jyoti. And he is Saguna. He comes down, plays sometimes in the gunas. That's why Shiva dances. Shiva bestows blessings. Shiva gives boon to others. All these activities with the three gunas. And also said, Nirgunam is beyond all gunas. And he is Advitiyam. He is one without a second. There is no parallel. That means almost the description is exactly the idea of Brahman. Anandakannam. He is the bliss itself. He is the source of all bliss, all joy. Satchidananda Ananda we say, Brahmananda Ananda. So he, Shiva, is that absolute bliss. And unconquerable one. There is no parallel to conquer him, because he is the only reality who will conquer, if that one absolute. And he is not knowable, he is unknowable. Aprameyam. You cannot you cannot measure. Immeasurable, because infinite. Who will be able to measure the infinite? That is Shiva. And of course again, Lord Shiva is having all the description, as you see. There will be snake, there will be all wearing bhasma, all the body, all over the body, all these physical features, so adorned with the serpent, and who is both without parts and face, and who is the self of all. And I worship that Vishwanatha, the Lord of the Vishwa. Vishwa means the whole universe. So there we find that this is the Shiva, and this Shiva incarnates. And when it incarnates, why it is the same purpose that God incarnates. Their purpose is for the good of humanity. Shiva, the Absolute, incarnated when? To swallow the poison, drink the poison of the ignorance. Ramakrishna can make a parallel. Ramakrishna was born in this age, and what he did? He swallowed the poison. What poison? Not the physical poison, the poison of the negativity, poison of our bad karmas. Sri Ramakrishna sucked that. That's why even in the Christianity it said the Lord was crucified to take our sins. It is the extended idea of that. Really, if you think that, why that one Absolute which is ever blissful, who is the source of all joy and blessings, why he will have to suffer anything in the physical? Because we suffer because of our karma. Good karma gives some good effect. Bad karma gives us suffering, physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, all this suffering. But what karma they have? These incarnations. They have no karma. But why they suffer then? So it is, we know that Girish Ghosh, such a person, he was transformed into a saint by the touch of Ramakrishna. So he is taking away the karma of others. That's why there is a beautiful word. Ramakrishna said in one place, Ami karma nasha, Ami farash danga. This is Bengali word. Ramakrishna's words are unique, but though cryptic, but it carries such a deep meaning. He said, Ami karma nasha. He who thinks about me, what happens? I destroy his karma. What does karma mean? Because of karma I am here. We are all here because of our karma. But if we can naso, destroy, then what remains in you? You are Brahman, I am Brahman. Karma has posed all these samskaras into us, and that is functioning to the body, mind, emotion, etc. If that karma is wiped out, then you are Jivan Mukta. So he said, Ami, me. He never said me many places, but this is a unique statement. Ami, Ramakrishna said, Ami, me, this is karma nasha. I destroy all the effects of the karmas done in all through the lives, which yogis do that by spiritual practice, day and night getting immersed in meditation, prayer, austerities, truthfulness, honesty, all these characteristics they develop. By their infinite effort, there is that state. But Ramakrishna has born in this age to take away anyone thinks of him. He also said, anyone think of me, he will get my quality. It is natural. It is also very reasonable that if you think, as you think, so you become. So if you think of Ramakrishna, who is a perfect embodiment of peace, joy, harmony and blessings and purity, then what will be our character? It is that imbibing that character, it will make us that pure, that stainless. Swami Vivekananda said, it is like Ramakrishna said, Ramakrishna is like a mold. And he gave the instruction that pour cast your life in the mold of Ramakrishna. That means thinking of Ramakrishna, thinking of his purity, thinking of his God intoxication, thinking of his love for constant pain in not attaining the spiritual goal, and placing the values of life. That values of life is only stands in God realization. All these characteristics, if one thinks of Ramakrishna, not the person, but the principle. Even the person is also wonderful. If we look at the person, so pure, there is nothing of the rajas and tamas. It is only pure manifestation of the sattva quality. And Shiva is, that's why Shiva, you see, parallelly, is always snow white, is lying in the feet of Mother Kali. That is this normal story we see in the Ma Kali's place, that Shiva is white, Snow white indicates what? No taint of any rajas, tamas, even sattva. But when he takes human form, that Shiva manifested a little bit of tamas, otherwise you will have to continue the body. Pure gold, you cannot have any ornament. To make any gold ornament, you must have to put some alloy. Similarly, the absolute Brahman have no function. He is beyond all function, all thinking, all actions. But you have to put a little bit of alloy. And that alloy, we are forced by our karma to carry that alloy. That's why we are what we are. But they come to adapt intentionally to do good to the world. So Sri Ramakrishna said, Ami karma nasha. And what I am? Very beautiful. I am Faras Danga. You know, in India, there is British territory and there are French territory. Faras Danga means French area. In Calcutta, those who were freedom fighters, they used to sneak into From Calcutta it is nothing, it is just enter into Chandan Nagar. The Chandan Nagar is, that area was under the French rule. So if you enter, British government has nothing to do there. By saying this simple analogy, one word, Ami Farasdanga, I am a land where there is no territory. No one can catch you anymore. All the worldly suffering, all your ignorance, all your frustrations and in life's miseries, gone. You are free soul there, attain the freedom. So with this single word, Sri Ramakrishna meant so much. I am a person thinking of me, you can be free from all karmas, and then you reach the eternal freedom, Farasdanga, the French territory, where no one can bind you, no one can catch you. So this is the freedom, place of freedom. So this is Sri Ramakrishna. And the Shiva nature is also same. Shiva was invoked. The gods and demons are fighting, and ultimately they came into a certain conclusion, okay, we'll churn the ocean and we'll get the nectar. Everyone thought, we will take the nectar. If we get the nectar, then I'll be eternal. So the demons thought, we will be eternal. And the gods also thought, we will be eternal. But then after churning, with the churning of things, poison also came. But who will swallow the poison? Neither the gods nor the demons are ready to, because they will die then. But they called Shiva. And Shiva was in deep samadhi, and then he said, what's the matter? What can I do for you? Oh, we are in trouble. Who will take the poison? So he said, okay, you please help us. So he took it, and the capacity is that he kept it in this range. That's why Nila Kantha. Kantha means the throat. Nila means blue. Because of the poison, it didn't go and destroy him, because he has the power to withhold all the sins, all the negativities of the world can be held in his control. That's the power of Shiva. So Sri Ramakrishna, that's why we find in his life, in the last days of Sri Ramakrishna you find how he was totally intoxicated in God consciousness. His throat, he cannot swallow anything. His cancer didn't spread all over the body, we didn't know that. But we know that it was in the throat cancer. And he could not swallow anything even. It comes out from here. Such a tremendous pain, and you can imagine what was the pain management system that time. A very meager arrangement. But he is always in joy. He is inspiring all the direct disciples to gather together to realize God there and then and there itself. In that condition, he is touching people on the 1st of January 1886. No, what is that? That year, 86, okay? Okay, then I am correct. So, and that time what Ramakrishna did, he just came down with that tremendous health condition and he touched everyone, whoever was there. What the yogis take lives of sadhana, Ramakrishna touched. And what he gave? He gave them eternal French territory. He gave them the destroyed their karma. Therefore we find that when that Ramakrishna touched them, the Shiva, out of compassion, that's why Shiva is, so much Shiva and Ramakrishna is same, because Shiva does not judge anyone. You give little water and little leaf, he'll be so pleased, he is my great devotee, and he can give you every boon. That's why all over India, people do worship Shiva, because it's simple worship and can be pleased very easily. Other gods, you need so many things. Yeah, and you don't give this, you have to give that, and if you don't give, then what will be? But Shiva is simple, just you give some little water and leaf. And say, Om Namah Shivaya, bas, Shiva is free. So Ramakrishna touched that way, and what they gave? He gave the wonderful gift of spiritual illumination to all he touched. And what illumination? What the yogis are practicing, you all know. We are all spiritual seekers here. How many years we are trying to meditate? Okay? How many times we failed? Yes, I see him tangibly. How many moments in life? 20 years, 30 years of spiritual practice. But Ramakrishna touched. And what happened? Ramlal Dada, his nephew, he said, I was meditating on my Ishtadeva or Devi, whatever. Sometimes, always I try, as it happens with us, a little bit of his feet comes, sometimes little bit of his fingers come. So occasionally maybe little bit of face may come. But Ramakrishna touched me and I felt the living, tangible presence of the divine, all total presence of that. It's full of light and effulgence, life transforming. He touched Vaikuntanath Sannal. But if you touch, so who is taking the brunt of all this touching? Touching, one is getting the benefit. But the karma is going where? You say it goes to Brahman. It does not go to Brahman. Karma is a physical thing in the plane of Maya. And Ramakrishna's body is in the Maya. So it should transfer from here to here. You are transferring this side, it comes from that side. So he has to accept the karma of them. But he was joyful to do that. You see that Vaikuntha Sannal's life story. Sri Ramakrishna touched him and he felt the whole world is permeated with one consciousness. Oh my God, which we are hearing all the time. He is chanting so many mantras every day. That is that infinite, timeless, spaceless, it is all light, light of light, etc., etc. And Ramakrishna touched and he felt it instantly. How many deep spiritual practice, lives of spiritual practice was necessary. And when he got it did not leave him. He was overwhelmed with this experience. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, no? Continuously he is absorbed in that consciousness. So here is the example to swallow the sins, or we don't say sins, we use, Hinduism also use the word sin, but sin in the meaning should be this our bad impressions and karmas which gives us this, which we perform and which creates bondage and ignorance from us, which keeps us away from our divine entity. That is the sin, and he lifts up that sin. And he could not withstand that. After 3 days he came back to Ramakrishna. He said, oh my God, I cannot handle it anymore. Because day and night, whenever I am eating, whenever I am doing my office work, I cannot do anything. I cannot perform normal activity. I see the oneness everywhere. He was an accountant. In the office he goes, opens the account book, not like computer nowadays, but account ledger book and cash book maybe. And he opens, he don't find any figure. And he does not do any work for 2-3 days continuously. So he saw the one consciousness, Brahman, everywhere. And then he give back, that's a different issue. But Sri Ramakrishna transmitted that unconditionally. So that is the Shiva nature, Shiva gives. If we look at it from the very beginning, it is called, there is a name of Shiva, it is called, let me see, what is the term? Sanskrit term is there. It is called, in the Shiva Purana, Shiva manifested before, there is a story, Brahma and Vishnu, the Lord of creation and Lord of maintenance, Brahma and Vishnu. So before them, Lord Shiva appeared. And they were having some debate or conflict between themselves. They call fight. I am just saying it is not that fight. How Vishnu and Shiva can, Vishnu and Brahma, they can be fighting each other. They are like us. No. So they may have difference of opinion. And they were conflicted between themselves. To redress that question, then what happened? One column of light appeared. and it is effulgent light. And they were awed. And then they tried to measure its beginning and its end. They could not find the beginning of it, neither the end of it. That is called the light, column of light. It is called Lingodbhava Murti. The Murti, that image, is a shaft of light, which has no beginning, no end. It is all pervaded. Seeing that, their dispute ended. And that is called the Shiva. And as we have said, you can just refer to that Holy Mother, Chandra Devi saw that light, beam of light coming and entering into it. So that linga is the light, shaft of light that came in the form to do good to the world as Shiva. And this shaft of light came, entered into Mother Chandramani, and through her she was born, manifested in the world to take the role of Lord Shiva, to take all the miseries and sufferings of us, all humanity. And we find even the birth was unique. When Ramakrishna was born, you should read the life of Ramakrishna. You can get the divine play of Ramakrishna by Chetanananda, you can find it. There he said, when the child is born in due course, the mother was taking the lady Dhani, who was the midwife, she was taking care of mother after the baby's birth. And suddenly he found that the baby is not available anywhere. Then she was so worried. What happened? Just now the baby was here and he didn't make a noise. No? Christ was born, we sing a song. He is born but no cry. So here Ramakrishna born, no cry. And then afterwards, she could not find. So she took the kerosene lantern, as normally those days they used, and they found that the no cry baby is just entered into the place where there is much ashes, and whole body is smeared with ashes, and then brought out. We know Shiva puts ashes all over the body. So this is all similes. We can think about that. That Sri Ramakrishna is born as Shiva, smearing ashes all over the body. And as we say, all the incarnations come in a very specific way, not like human, but human. So we find that it is Shiva who likes ashes. Why ashes? Ashes has a significance. What does the ashes mean? Ashes is the remnant of all burning. When all burning of our karmas, our deeds, misdeeds, good deeds are burnt, what remains? They remain ashes. And that indicates that Shiva, when it smears, she has destroyed all the lust and greed and all that of thing, and all burnt into ashes, and that is smeared around. And Sri Ramakrishna chose to be Gadadhar or Shiva himself as Ramakrishna. That's smeared with that renunciation, that tie, that destruction of all kama and krodha and all these negativities. That means he is the renunciate. That is the great indication. You go to Himalayas even, many of the sadhus you will find they are wearing ashes, smearing ashes. You go to Kumbh Mela, that's very common. We all see, no? All these sadhus are smearing, whole body smeared with ashes. What the ashes means? It is a symbol of renunciation, symbol of total detachment from world and worldliness. So that is the Shiva, and that is love, that even everything in the meaning that everything in the world is mundane. Only that truth is the only reality. And also you find that when this Ramakrishna was born, Shudiram then went through all the almanac and other things and made a horoscope. And there his name was given Shambhu. His name was given first, Ramakrishna's name was given Shambhu Chandra. Shambhu is Shiva Shambhu. That was Shambhu. Why he gave the Shambhu? Because his father long back went to pilgrimage. One in Rameshwaram, where is the bridge between India and Ceylon. It is believed that Rama's time it is prepared. So that is the Rameshwaram, and he went into Benaras. When in both the places Shiva Linga, Rama Ishwaram means Ishwara means the Lord of Rama. That means Rama worshipped God as Shiva there. And that place is called Rameshwaram now, the holy place. Many people, many of you may have visited that place, that Rameshwaram. And there he brought a Rameshwaram one Shiva. And that he worshipped in his home for, even now it is worshipped. That Shiva Linga is still worshipped. So, that his father has an inclination for Shiva. And the Shiva is so pleased, that's why so spontaneously. He has so much love, his father has so much love for Shiva, that once he was going from Hugli, going to Medinipur, another district, quite by walking, he walked about 5 miles. And then he suddenly found that there is a beautiful bell tree, and fresh bell leaves. He got so excited. She started plucking all the bell leaves, and then forgot about going to his destination, to his relative's house in Midnapur, where he was going. He then started his journey in the morning and was going, suddenly found that bell tree, fresh leaves shining, and then he plucked them and came back to home. And then without eating anything from the morning, he performed the Shiva Puja and ended around at the end of the day, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. And then afterwards, next day, he started to go to his destination. So it indicates that Shiva connection with Sri Ramakrishna's father was already there, and that Shiva came in this way. Gadadhar, you remember that story? Ramakrishna did so many sadhanas, that much we know. He did this sadhana of the tantric practices of 64 ways of tantra, worshipping mother in different ways. He practiced Vedanta from Totapuri. He practiced Shiva, but we don't find any description that he practiced any Shiva Puja. Or really, 3 days we hear, he practiced Islam 3 days, Christianity 3 days, and all the different modes of spiritual practice, he took 3 days. But here you find something very deep to think about. He did not do any Shiva. He didn't do the Shiva Puja and Shiva appeared and merged in the body. But we find that Christ came and Christ merged in the body. Mother Sita, he saw the Mother Sita in the mystic vision and merged into the body. We don't find such incidents. But in the life we find one interesting point. We can think about that. When he was a young, small boy, you know that story in the house of the pine house. There, every time a Shivaratri is coming, when? Tomorrow. It is called Shiva night, remember. That means you fast from the morning, sunrise, go whole day, and whole night. Night is important. Whole night you have to fast and do Shiva Puja. That is the main thing. And morning comes, then you break your fast and do something. Now, that was the Shiva night. And in India, that was the greatness of India, that they kept the spiritual values so lively because they lived with this type of Shiva, Rama, and enacting plays and things. So people will not gossip politics and other things. What they will do? Or not go to a movie to spend the night. What they will do? There is acting going on. Open stage theatre, and village people will come for their night waking. How they will do? They will watch that drama. And the drama is about Shiva and his life. Shiva, Durga, all these stories will be happening. But what happened? At the last moment as it happens, the person who was to be Shiva, he falls sick. And everyone is searching, what will happen now? Our whole night's plan will go. So some of the villagers said that, wow, there is Godai, this boy. He sings very well. He looks like Shiva. So we'll decorate him. And so they decorated him. And he also agreed. And he came. And when he was decorated wonderfully, and just he entered into the stage, open stage, and entering into it, when everyone was overwhelmed with his beautiful look and like Shiva-like look, and he went into trance. He need not have to do 3 days sadhana. He became Shiva. And the whole audience, and he became unconscious then. And as he fell down, then a commotion came, and then they thought that he will come back. But no, he was in that state. He was taken to home. He remained in that Shiva consciousness, Shiva mood. Some say 5 hours, some say the next day, some say 3 days. He was absorbed in that Shiva consciousness. So it was inherent that he himself represented his Shiva. One day in Dakshineswar there is another story. Sri Ramakrishna was in different moods. Dakshineswar is a unique place where you have mother, worship Mother Kali, another side 12 Shiva lingas. There are 12 Jyotirlingas. What are Jyotirlingas? That those are considered not, no human being has installed a Shiva to worship. Those 12 are not like that. They are called Jyotirlinga, means they are Swayambhu. They come out of their own, and from time immemorial, people are worshipping those areas. There are 12. Out of that, you see, in the Dakshineswar, when temple was created, Rani Rasmani did 12 Shiva lingas. And Sri Ramakrishna used to worship Mother Kali, then go to Krishna, and then the Shiva. That was in many days he did like that. This is now matured state. What happened? One day he went to the Shiva temple, and that is a Shiva lingam, and he went there and he was overwhelmed with the Shiva Mahimna Stotra. You know that verse? Ashita Girishamang Kajjalang Sindhu Patre Shuratar Varashekha Lekhati Patramurvi Lekhati Jadi Sharada Grihitva Sarvakalam Tadapi Tava Mahimanang Parang Najane. It is Pushpadanta, is a big, great writer. He wrote about Shiva. Oh Shiva, you are so glorious. Your glories cannot be uttered by speech, because you are Brahman. You are exactly infinite. Who can describe your glory and your all greatness? Even Mother Saraswati, who is the giver of all wisdom and knowledge, she herself takes the pen and starts to write on the paper. What is the paper? The whole earth, surface of the earth is the page. And she starts writing continuously. Where is the ink? Ink will end after a little time. No. It is the whole Himalayan is the tablet, and ocean is the water in which the tablet is melted, and that is the ink. Imagine the greatness of the idea. And Mother Saraswati, whose wisdom never ends, she starts writing and goes on writing ages after ages. Still, he will not be able to describe your glory, O Lord Shiva, you are such great. And he chanted that mantra, Sri Ramakrishna. And chanting that mantra, he went into such an ecstatic mood that he embraced Shiva and said, "Oh, my dear Shiva, and how can I speak the glory of your? How can I speak about you and your glory?" And chanting that mantra, he embraced Shiva and actually he climbed over the Shiva Lingam. As it happens, there are many friends and many enemies of Ramakrishna in Dakshineswar. Particularly the priests were very angry with him. They saw that this crazy guy is sitting on the Lord Shiva and embracing Lord Shiva, and they were saying, "Pull him down," and this and that, shouting. And suddenly, by chance, Mathur, the landlord, he happened to be that day present there. And hearing this commotion, he heard and he also came. And he is standing behind. And these people didn't notice that the landlord is behind them. And they said, "Oh, he should be pulled out just now." And he was very angry. "How can he do like that?" And then he shouted from background, "Let me see who has the audacity to touch Ramakrishna. I will chop your head down." He said in such violent, strong words, everyone got startled and then they stopped. But this is the point. Seeing the Shiva, remembering the glory of Shiva, he went into Shiva consciousness. It is nothing unusual for Ramakrishna. We know that through anything he can go to the infinite mood, Rama mood, Krishna mood, whatever mood. But Shiva mood is such, it is an impersonal mood. Shiva is the god of monks. That's why you will find, of course, householders also, but mostly in the Himalayas you will find the worship of most of the monastic tradition, they worship Shiva. And now that how this idea of Mathur Babu came, there is also some story. Mathur was sitting in his office and Ramakrishna's room in the Dakshineswar, on the northern side of the long stretch of veranda that is visible from the office of his Mathur Babu. So one day he was doing his business, office business, signing paper and something, and suddenly found that Ramakrishna started from his door, from his room, came out, and the long stretch, he is moving from this end to that end, and then strolling back and forth. But to his surprise, he found what he saw, he could not believe. He saw that one way Ramakrishna is coming, it is no Ramakrishna. It's a trident and all holding that. Lord Shiva himself, a living Shiva, is walking. And when he turned the other way, it is Mother Kali walking. He said, "What am I seeing?" He rubbed his eyes and looked at the second time. Second time you also find Lord Shiva coming, and who is going back? Mother Kali. Third time when he started seeing, he could not check himself. So he ran, left his all pain and office work, and ran and kneeled down before Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna, that time, said, "What are you doing? You are the landlord, what people will tell you? Get up, get up." No, Baba, please tell me, who are you? What have I seen? What am I seeing? I do not know, Baba, I am an ordinary person. So he escaped by that way. But you see, the conviction of Mathur Babu came by exact vision, experience, that he himself embodies the Shiva nature, and he himself is Mother Kali in another form. Even the story goes with Kali idea. So Sri Ramakrishna also, Holy Mother used to look upon Ramakrishna as Mother Kali. No, the story that when Holy Mother, when she was a young girl and going from his village to see Ramakrishna to see her husband. She is hearing so much of a mad guy, she is like this and that. So she wants to go and check. And going with her father. But she is unaccustomed to walk 60 miles. Tiny, small girl, and walking days after days, and she got high temperature. And his father felt so disturbed what to do. Then ultimately took shelter in one place, and night time the temperature rose very high. What to do? Father could not do anything, but in the middle of that night, they saw, Holy Mother saw that one black complexioned lady has come over there, and then touching Holy Mother and saying, "You will be okay, you will be okay, don't worry, you will be okay." Then, "Who are you?" Well, "I am your sister. I am your sister." And then, "So where do you come from?" "I come from Dakshineswar." "Ah, you come from Dakshineswar? I want to go to Dakshineswar, see my condition, but I cannot go there." Then that lady, black complexion, very soothing, very soft touch, told, then, "Yes, I have kept him for you. You will go and see." And Ramakrishna, Holy Mother asked Ramakrishna, "Who are you?" And he actually visited Sri Ramakrishna as Ma Kali. So this is the Shiva Kali, this intermingling is so deep inside that it is Sri Ramakrishna. What he did is actually the manifestation of the Shiva for the good of humanity. Sri Ramakrishna in Dakshineswar, he said that one day, Ramakrishna said, one day while worshipping Shiva, I was about to put a bell leaf on the head of the image, when it was revealed to me that this Virata, this universe itself is Shiva. After this, my worship of Shiva through the image came to an end. Sri Ramakrishna said he used to do the Shiva Lingam worship, but one day while he was offering such, about to put a bell leaf on the head of the image, what you call the Lingam, and we also do, we put the leaves and then the water, or we'll do with honey, with milk, with ghee, butter, all these things, different watches. So when Sri Ramakrishna was doing that, he said, one day while worshipping Shiva, I was about to put a bell leaf on the head of the image. When it was revealed, then a flash came. It is no more the limited worship of that image of the lingam, but it was revealed to me that this whole universe is Virata. The universe itself, it is all Shiva, nothing but Shiva. And he got overwhelmed, and that ended his performing the ritualistic puja or worship of Lord Shiva. Shiva is said to be, in the scripture it is said, Shiva is said to be in Bhava Samadhi, in the spiritual mood. Like Ramakrishna in the spiritual mood, Shiva is always in the mood. That's why it said, there is a song, Bhankhe Vibhor Bhola Natho Bhutogano Shange Nachiche Sadar Hariki. Anyhow, so it says that he is intoxicated in the name of Lord. You see, Bhankhe means having some ganja. Normal people say it is hasis, but this ganja is different ganja. He got intoxicated, that's a ganja. As Girish Ghosh asked Ramakrishna that what brand of wine you are drinking. No. He says, I don't drink ordinary wine. I drink the wine of mother's name. So Shiva also. The Shiva is to live in always Bhava Samadhi. You know the language Bhava Samadhi is the threshold. What is the threshold? One side is the absolute non-dual reality, and this side is the relative world. But it is not this physical world. It goes to the higher and higher and higher realm of Sabikalpa, state of mind, and that Sabikalpa merging into Nirvikalpa, one can stand there, that is called the Bhava Samadhi. And Ramakrishna used to go into ecstasy and such a way that the Divine Mother told Ramakrishna that keep your mind in this state, Bhava Mukha. Stay in the threshold of these moods, spiritual moods. Where spiritual mood, you can live in the spiritual mood but not merge into it. So, Shiva, that is called always in the Bhava Samadhi during daytime, and it is said that Shiva during night, he goes to Nirvikalpa, beyond Bhava Samadhi. Sri Ramakrishna, if we like, actually in his life you find Bhava Samadhi and Nirvikalpa Samadhi. He's switching back and forth. Maybe in daytime also, in night time also. But Shiva says, in the Shiva scripture it is said, Shiva remained in these two moods, one in the Bhava Samadhi mood, another in the night time he goes into Nirvikalpa. Means when there is no duality, he is absolutely merged in himself. So this, and Sri Ramakrishna was in Bhava Mukha, as we know, as also he was in Sabikalpa, or in that threshold, and sometimes into the absorption, into the absolute, total absorption. So, in so many ways we can think it is Sri Ramakrishna's life, and if we can think in that way, then benefit comes, because we can see that actually how the infinite manifests in the form and takes care of us and our karmas, and thinking of this Shiva Ramakrishna or Ramakrishna Shiva, then our mind will be purified. Thank you. Om ragadi dosharahitam sajananuragam vairgaragga shanti nilayam girija sahayam madhurja dhairya shubhagam garalabhiramam Varanasi purapating bhaja Vishwanatham. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We worship Lord Vishwanatha, the Lord of Benares, Kashi, who is free from all dual throngs like attachment and hatred, etc., who is fond of his devotees, who is the abode of renunciation and bliss, the companion of Girija, the Divine Mother, who is endowed with the virtues, sweetness and patience, who looks beautiful with his throat stained with the poison. We salute him, our dear Lord Shiva of Vishwanath. Peace, peace, peace be unto us all.